Hello, people. Good evening, and welcome you back once again in our particular platform wherein we speak, we professionals, experienced professionals speak, and the people who are there who have just started their careers or who can take some guidance from us are feel free to take guidance. So this is what this particular platform is about. Welcome you all, and I'm going to be again up with some another discussion. So guys, what I'm going to talk now is a very important thing, and it is this topic is very close to my heart because as an HR professional, I have dealt with this topic a lot. I have for years helped people to come out of this particular topic. Okay, and someone has requested me to speak about this because he was in a terrible situation when he was in this particular uh, thing that we will be talking about. So what exactly is this? Okay, the topic is bench. We all know people what bench is all about. For the people who are beginners, who are freshers, they may not be available or aware of. And the people who are already working in an organization, few of them might have heard of it, few of them might have seen it, and only few of them might have so experienced it. So it is very important, people. Okay, this particular topic, bench, it is also called as deployable pool. It is very important to be aware about what exactly is this and how do you manage yourself when you are actually in this deployable pool or bench. That is what people call it as. Okay, so guys, this is the basic concept. Organizations, they work on many projects. I want you guys to listen this because some or the other day, all those people who are there in who are expected to work in IT or who are currently in IT, I want these people to completely hear me and keep this in mind because they may come across this particular thing whenever in the course of their career. Okay, so this is the basic concept. Mm, बड़े बड़े कंपनीज की अगर अपन बात करें तो कंपनीज जो है दे हैव मल्टीपल प्रोजेक्ट्स. They have multiple projects. There are people who currently work on these particular projects. Then they keep getting new projects. The current projects which are there, their contract keeps extending. There are times wherein project goes ramp down. There are some times wherein the ramp up keeps happening. So ये सब juggling, ये सब चीजें जो है कंपनीज में, MNCs में, IT firms में चलते रहता है. So one particular IT company manage n number of projects. They have n number of verticals. They have n number of horizontals coming through it. And if in case the project is about to get ramped down, अगर कोई project रहता है किसका strength कम हो रहा रहता है, then these people are given some other opportunities because companies के बाद काफी सारे projects होते हैं, आते रहते हैं, requirements आते रहते हैं, so they keep getting other opportunities. So till the time they get another opportunity, these people are kept in a deployable pool. So what exactly is this deployable pool? This deployable pool is a pool wherein the billing is not done to a client. So till the time the person is in this particular deployable pool, the expenses are not borne by clients. They are borne by the specific project which is created for this particular ID that is known as bench. And this is non-billable. So we have to put in efforts. If suppose someone is getting on a bench, he has to put in all his efforts so that he can get placed better. So how do you plan yourself, people? Okay, at times this is how it happens. If there is a particular person with a particular skill set, for an example, let us talk about Unix administration. If there is a person who has Unix administration or Unix as a skill set, okay, he is released on bench. So people who are managing the bench managers, they call it, many organizations call this team as global workforce management team, few people call it as a resource management group. So there are different names to it. These people, they look at all the opportunities which are available in the organization, and these are the people who will basically try to place you there. Okay, and also companies has some internal portals as well wherein these are like job portals. Okay, these are again like job portals, but these are internal portals. If you are on bench, you have to see that, you have to closely monitor these portals, you have to see which all jobs are coming, and if in case you come across any job, you have to bring that job to the notice of the point of contact whom you are working with for deployment. And once you have the consent in place, then accordingly you can apply. Or if a system is so robust, that already if the system is so robust and things are already in place, then you can go ahead and apply for it. But keep consider keep the person, the point of contact who is working with you in updated about that. और जब भी आप बेंच में आते हो लोग पीपल, सो लिसन मी, अब बेंच में आते हो तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अगर आपका स्किल सेट यूनिक्स है, the person who is there, the point of contact, will try to explore Unix requirements for you. Okay, there is a challenge, people here. Suppose you are in Pune as a location, and the person you are aspiring to be in Pune itself, even for the new project, and the person who is there working with you, he is trying to provide you the requirements of Pune. We cannot delay things, people. Okay, first thing is, as soon as you come on bench, prepare yourself well. Prepare yourself well for the interviews, because you will not be directly placed in the projects. There will be particular interview, freshers can directly be placed, but the people who has experience, there can be some interviews for them. So be prepared for the skill sets of the for the interviews of the skill set that you have. Once the interview is aligned, keep the point of contact well updated about it, prepare for it, and go ahead and try to crack that interview. At the same time, try to upgrade your skill sets, or try to upgrade your skill set with the related flavors. For example, if we talk about Unix, there are many requirements which comes as the complete package, wherein a Unix person is also required. Then a person should also have a knowledge on PL SQL. So this type of requirements comes in combination. Try to upgrade yourself with the skill set which closely matches your requirement, or which is about flavor of your particular requirement. Keep yourself upgraded. Try to clear that interview as soon as possible. Okay, because if in case you do not clear that interview, then probably someone would try to align you for some another interview. If that also doesn't get clear, then the third interview will happen, and the days will pass, people. You have to keep a very close track on the days which are currently going on. You have to keep you have to keep a very close track on about how the days are passing, guys. Okay, for example, if you see that first 10 to 15 days are over and you have still not got job, then you have to speak to the person who is working on your deployment. You have to check with him what else can be done, and be proactive here. Learn as much as you can, and if required, somewhat be flexible when it comes to your skill sets. For example, if you are looking for a role which is only specific to Unix, but if a project is looking for a person who is having a good exposure in Unix, at the same time good exposure in PL SQL, and it is a blended work, go ahead and do it. Because what will happen is, if in case you keep missing requirements, the time would come when the requirements at your current location, at your current project, would somewhat get over. And once this happens, at the same time, the day counter will keep ticking. And if once this particular thing happens, then other locations will also come into picture. The other locations will also come into picture. And then you will have to go to other locations if required. So you have to always keep in mind what exactly is your priority. Is your priority is working on the specific skill set? If that is your priority, then ensure that as soon as few days are completed on bench, you open yourself for other locations as well, if skill is your priority. If working on a specific location is your priority, then you can do another thing. Try to be flexible for skill sets. The whole point here is, guys, you have to be sensible, you have to be proactive, you have to keep a close observation of the requirements that are coming through. You have to bring each and every requirement to the notice of the person, the resource manager who is working with you, and you have to try to get placed as soon as possible. Because if that doesn't happen, then things will keep moving, the days will keep moving, and the situation will not look so good. Because ultimately you are not billable to any specific project, your cost and all these things will come into picture. Then different locations will come into picture, and if you are not getting selected there, then why you are not getting selected, some observations will be there. Then the things will somewhat get more contracted, more strength, and definitely these things are not good. It doesn't open a good door, right? Ultimately it may lead to like 90 so many days completed, why not getting project? And this will again reflect, like if you are not working. Let me give you an example. If you have a gap, people, if you have a gap due to some serious reason, is fine. But if you are in a company, if you are not working on a project, this gap is not due to any specific personal issue. This gap is an outcome of the project not being there, and the interviews which you have given in this particular time will also be tracked. So if you have not cleared these interviews, then the question will arise by the people who would be interviewing you further, that why is that person not able to clear so many interviews? So all those things will come into picture. So whole point is that we should not go to that extent. We should not go to that extent. Whenever we get a notification, whenever we come to know that we are on bench or project is getting to release, try to understand who is your point of contact as soon as you are getting to release. Take sensible calls, learn different skill sets, just the blend of the skill sets, not completely different skill set. It's not easy to place to switch complete skill set to a different skill set, because you would have a specific number of years of experience, and the other skill set would, you would be like somewhat very fresher for that, so your years would not go with that. So the skill set which you are trying to learn should be somewhat in the same flavor. It would be somewhat in the same flavor of the primary skill set that you have. Okay, so do all these particular things if in case you learn that you are getting deployed. And once you do all these things, the your process will get easy. And suppose if a person is not doing all these things, the count will keep ticking, the days will go by, and these things will not be good. Then a person will ultimately have to go in and work in some other location, because only there he can get a project. If he doesn't go there, then if he has family constraints, then the things would be like, how would he manage it? Then those things would not be good. So whenever it is, try to manage yourself very well on the project, on the yourself when you are on bench, and that should be the way out. Be sensible, take calculated calls, be flexible if required, try to get placed at early as possible, plan your time frame in the career in when you are on bench very well. So watch all these things, people. You won't get this type of inputs, this type of guidance from anywhere. You would realize what bench is if you come on bench. Then and you already spend few days, it is then you will start feeling the heat of it. If you are aware about all these things, how to manage yourself when you are on the deployable pool, then you can do it much better. So utilize all this particular information that I have currently shared. Bench is something which is there in most of the organizations, and you should know how to steer your way when you are in bench to a particular project. So guys, this is what I wanted to cover today. I'm assuming that who want you guys to put all these things into practice, to make note of all these things. And if in case you face that particular situation, go ahead and do what I said. Just keep this in mind and plan your things better. And that is what would lead to a project which would come in your way very soon. So that's it, guys. We'll catch up with some next video very soon. Till then, take care.